In this video, the Bitcoin price is currently breaking down from its crypto market structure. But guys, we are going to take a quick look with the S&P 500, which is the stock market, and understand how is the stock market crash affecting the crypto market. Stay tuned to know more. So hi guys, and welcome back to another Gabb's cryptocurrency video where we trade by data and not by hype. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out daily technical analysis like this. So let's dive into this video. So yeah, we are going to talk about three things dito sa channel natin for today. So first things first, we are going to talk about the logarithmic growth curve. Number two, we are going to talk about the market structure. And number three, we are also going to look with the S&P 500, which is the stock market. So let's start first with the logarithmic growth curve. So gusto ko siya i-address in three different ways. So we are going to address this in three separate ways. Number one, how are you going to address this as a day trader? Number two, as a swing trader. And then number three, as a position trader. So now let's dive in with a quick recap of our previous analysis. So diba guys, sa ating previous video, we were actually monitoring the logarithmic growth curve, which is actually this latest regression band na pinakita ko sa inyo kahapon, which is currently ranging between the 38 to the 42K area. And as you can see, ito yung sa previous video natin na pinakita ko yung ating area na yan kung saan tayo nag-hold ng line. In order for us to remain healthy, we must hold this regression band, which is currently playing within the 38 up until the 42K. Kasi if we break that regression band, then it's more likely our next target would be around the next support na nga, and that is around the 31, 32, or 35,000 US dollars. And look at this guys, currently, the Bitcoin price has now broken this regression line. So as of the moment, we are currently breaking down from this regression band, but the candle is still open. So yeah, we have to wait for Monday in order for this to confirm that we are now on a downtrend. But let's talk about this in three separate ways. So first things first, there was a day trade. So let's look at this in the daily time frame and understand. So let's understand in the daily time frame, how is our latest price action moving? So as you can see in the daily time frame, you can actually now see na we are still in a clear downtrend. So either way, in the daily time frame, which is yun nga yung, if you are a day trader and you are just trading for the volatility within the day, of course, it is pretty much bearish pa din. Looking at a swing trading opportunity, which is more likely with the weekly time frame, for the weekly time frame, it is not yet actually confirmed, but we are leaning bearish. Remember, in a weekly time frame, we always need to wait out for a weekly candle close. So right now, if you are a swing trader, I think right now it's not yet confirmed if we are bearish, pero if we are going to break this movement and then magkaroon tayo ng candle close weekly dito sa movement yan below the regression band, then that is going to indicate na confirm na bearish tayo for the midterm or sa swing trading opportunity natin or sa weekly time frame. So right now, that is what you are going to consider right now for the weekly time frame. And when it comes to position trading naman, and let's say you are a long-term trader, hindi mo naman actually nahabol yung intra-market cycle volatility, which is yung nangyayari day by day or week by week. Diba? As you can see, every time nagkakaroon ng movement sa Bitcoin, we are actually seeing those intra-market cycle volatility, yung kanyang pump and dump within every other month or every other week. So if let's say you are a position trader tapos long-term investor ko pa naman, as you can see, Bitcoin is still in a clear uptrend within the logarithmic growth curve. So if you are a position trader, you would actually know na the Bitcoin price is going to appreciate pa din. It will always go up pa din in the long run. Kasi if you're going to look at this 10 years of historical data, Bitcoin is always going to go up. It's just that there will be a period in time na magiging bearish tayo for the weekly time frame as well as for the daily or monthly. Pero if you're going to look at the longer time frames, you are actually going to notice na we are still bullish for the longer run. If you are a long-term investor and then you are a position trader, now is still actually one of the best time pa din. Kasi if you are actually thinking of entering the market, sa totoo lang, pwede mo naman gawin kasi at kahit anong price point, pwede ka bumili kahit kailan, tapos i-hodl mo lang siya. Kasi as you can see, meron tayong logarithmic growth. Though diminishing na yung returns niya, pero ang nakikita natin dito is magkakaroon ka pa din ng returns in the long run. It's just a matter of time lang talaga kung when are you going to enter. But when it comes to maximizing those entry and exit opportunity, of course, ang pinakamagandang sundan dito is actually the upper and lower regression band, which is itong ginagamit natin sa ating logarithmic growth curve. So right now, as a position trader or as an investor, it is still one of the best time. Kahit bumagsak pa si Bitcoin or kahit umakyat siya, regardless kung ano yung hinahabol nyo, if you're a position trader or a long-term investor, now is still the best time. And guys, if you're a long-term position trader, the best thing to do with your coins is actually to stake your coins, and the best place to stake your coins is actually in crypto.com. Kasi dito, if you're going to stake your coins at crypto.com, you can earn actually up to 12% per annum of interest in crypto.com. Actually, 14% pala. And you can actually see na you can actually stake your coins and then earn interest both in cryptos as well as with stable coins. And on top of that, guys, if let's say, mag-stake ka dito ng coins kay crypto.com, you can actually get their beautiful metal Visa card, and all you have to do is just to stake their native token, CRO. So if you want to claim this beautiful metal Visa card, just stake CRO for an amount of days. And then on top of that, if you are going to use my sign-up code, which is GabsCrypto, you're actually going to claim up to $50 bonus upon signing up and upon claiming this metal Visa card. So as you can see, win-win tayo dito sa ating crypto.com kasi yun nga, mag-stake ka na, kumikita ka pa na interest. On top of that, meron ka pang metal Visa card if you are going to stake CRO. So to summarize this logarithmic growth curve na ating sinundan ngayon, as a day trader, we are now actually bearish. Pero if you are going to be a swing trader, we still have to wait out for the weekly candle close. Kasi let's say you are just swing trading every other week or every other few days, then of course, what you want to follow is actually the weekly time frame. And right now, weekly candle is still open, so wala pa tayong pwedeng gawin dyan. And all you have to do if we are going to follow the weekly time frame is to wait up until this coming Monday at 8 a.m. for the weekly candle close. Pero if let's say you are a position trader, regardless kung anong entry point mo, you are still going to be in profits pa din with the Bitcoin price kasi of course, the Bitcoin price is in a long-term bull run. It's just a matter of period lang talaga kung kailan ka mag-enter. Of course, pinaka-best period is mag-enter ka during a bearish movement, which is currently, andun tayo ngayon. But nonetheless, you can still buy during a bullish movement. But either way, you can see na you are still going to be in profits in the long run if you are going to follow a position trader standpoint. So now, napag-usapan na natin yung logarithmic growth curve. Now, let's understand yung ating market structure. So as you can see, right now, the Bitcoin price is actually following this market structure na matagal na natin fina-follow. So let's look at this in the daily time frame. So if you're going to look back in time kay Bitcoin price, ito yung ating latest bull run natin from 2021. As you can see, we saw this higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then higher low. Pero, the moment na na-break natin yung trend natin na higher low and higher high, doon na mag-reverse yung ating Bitcoin price action. So as you can see, after this trends of higher lows and higher highs, nung na-break natin yung trend na higher lows, nagkaroon tayo ng lower low, and then after nung nagkaroon tayo ng dead cat bounce, then after nung dead cat bounce, nagkaroon siya ng candle close na nag-confirm siya ng lower high. So in that case, that confirmed a dead cat bounce, indicating na that is going to be a signal or an indicator for a bearish trend reversal. So unfortunately, if you are going to see this similar movement happening right now with the Bitcoin price, then yeah, of course, that is not a very good thing na we are going to see with the Bitcoin price. So now, let's compare this movement na pinakita ko sa inyo ngayon, guys, and then let's try to plot this in the latest Bitcoin price action. So as you can see, the Bitcoin price started with a low dito, and then after that, nagkaroon tayo ng higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Pero, ito na yung naging problem natin ngayon. Currently, we are in a clear downtrend pa din dito kay Bitcoin, and then as you can see, hindi pa tayo nagba-bottom out dito sa ating trend ng lower low. So right now, if you are going to get candle closes, I think this is going to indicate na we are going to get a lower low na dito sa ating Bitcoin price, which is actually breaking our market structure na nga of a trend ng higher low. So right now, I think we are now confirming a lower low dito sa ating trend, and then it's actually breaking the structure. So that is now indicating na if you're going to follow this in the daily time frame, especially, we are currently in a bear trend for the daily time frame. So yeah, that is not a good news talaga. Ang best strategy pa din dito, guys, is number 1, you can actually short that. Pero yung number 2, which is yung traditional method na ginagawa natin, which is buy the dip. Ngayon, ang dami ko nakikita na nagko-comment na buy the dip, pero dip pa din ang dip. Well, guys, kasi may strategy talaga sa pagbabay ng dip. Yung tamang pagbabay ng dip is following dollar cost average strategy. And then dollar cost average strategy is hatiin mo inyong money into multiple support areas, and then once nakuha mo yung multiple support areas, dun mo ilalagay yung buy order. So, bigyan ko yun na isang example. So, as you can see, if let's say, nag-buy the dip ka noong 46K sa Bitcoin, pwede ka actually, ang gawin mo is hatiin mo yung money mo, and then maglagay ka ng iba't ibang buy the dip support area. So, especially if you're going to look at this, maglagay ka ng isa pang buy order at 41K, and then on top of that, maglagay ka ng sa 35K, and then let's say, if na-break yung 35K, meron ka pang buy order sa 30K, as well as sa 28K, and then so on. Pero nakikita nyo, guys, you get the point na ang DCA strategy in buying the dip is hatiin mo yung pera mo and then ilalagay mo siya sa multiple support areas regardless kung saan tayo bumagsak. Ngayon, bakit ba hindi natin siya ginagawa ng isang bagsakan na buy? The problem with that is, what if nag-buy ka ng isang bagsakan tapos lalo pa siya nag-dip? E di ang problem nun, wala ka nang bala pambili ng dip, diba? Pero let's say, ang ginawa mo is nag-abang ka ng deepest dip. Tinry mo abang yung deepest dip, pero anong nangyari, nagkaroon na ng trend reversal sa isang support line tapos hindi na bumalik dun sa baba. Hindi anong nangyari, napag-iwanan ka ngayon ng pump ni Bitcoin. So in that case, para maiwasan natin yung magandang movement, we have to follow a dollar cost average strategy in buying the dip. And ganyan yung sinasabi ko every time na bumabagsak sa Bitcoin. Di ba lagi ko sa inyo sinasabi na now is the best time to buy the dip. Remember, buying the dip is using dollar cost average strategy. And kung matagal ka na dito sa video, alam ko na nakita nyo na tong video na to. Pero i-reshare ko ulit sa inyo guys, itong video na to. Type in nyo lang, how to buy the dip, Gabs Crypto. Makikita nyo actually one of my first videos dito sa YouTube on how to buy the dip using DCA strategy. And as you can see, I posted that 9 months ago and we have been doing that strategy ever since. So if you are new to this channel, at least ngayon, alam nyo na kung paano kayo bibili ng dip following dollar cost average strategy. So that is for the Bitcoin price, especially the market structure is actually breaking down. So right now, we are pretty much bearish for the daily time frame, but we need to wait this one out in the weekly time frame. So it really depends on what type of a trader are you, kung saan ka susunod. Pero right now, as it stands, we are currently breaking the structure. Pero after this breakdown nating structure, ang next thing na kailangan natin tingnan dito is, yun nga, what goes down must come up. Kasi if you're going to look back in the historical Bitcoin data, kahit nag-enter tayo ng bear market, you can look at this. Sa previous bear market si Bitcoin, even though na nag-bear market si Bitcoin, what goes down must also come up. Kasi ang reasoning behind that is for us to confirm a bear trend by following a dead cat bounce, or if humihina na yung bulls natin along the way, then yun nga, what goes down must come up, and then doon natin malalaman kung we are currently in a bear trend or we are still going to continue a bull trend. So as you can see, right now, we are still waiting out for that movement kung kailan ba siya mag-trend reversal for either a dead cat bounce or a crypto recovery. But right now, wala pa nangyayari, so we are still going to wait this one out before entering into any trade and position. But as usual, buying the dip with this strategy is still the best option. And last but not the least, let's talk about the S&P 500. And this is actually in the stock market. So as you can see, the stock market actually went down roughly around 8%. And 8% is actually pretty big in the stock market. And ako personally, I'm not actually a follower of the stock market. Pero what I do know is, I do know how to read data kasi of course that is one of my day job. But yeah, let's understand the data analysis for S&P 500. So as you can see, right now we are currently in a market crash for the 2020 price action dito kay S&P 500. So as you can see, we went down. And then if you're going to look back in time, the only time na na-break natin yung trend, itong 20 MA. Ayun, no, kasi if you're going to look back in time, 20 MA has always been a pretty strong support in the weekly time frame for the S&P 500. And then the previous time na na-break natin siya was actually during this period nung nagkaroon tayo ng COVID crash of 2020. So during that time, the stock market actually went down dito for roughly, very big siya actually, and that is around, let's try to check kung ilang percent yung binagsak niya. That is around 30% yung kanyang drop from the stock market price action. So, during the March COVID crash, doon actually talagang bumagsak yung ating stock market. Now, the question is, how does this correlate with the Bitcoin price action? So, ngayon nagkakaroon ng crash yung stock market, and ang indication natin dito is actually the 28-week MA na nagkaroon ng break to the downside. How is this going to correlate with the Bitcoin price? So if you're going to look at this, the only time na na-affect ng S&P 500 yung crypto market is whenever we are in a market crash. And the only areas na nagkaroon lang tayo ng market crash was of course during the March COVID crash noong 2020. And then yung second naman is yung ating current crash na nakita ngayon. And if you're going to look at the Bitcoin data, noong March 2020, nagkaroon din tayo ng crash. And then that is actually also the similar thing that is happening within the S&P 500. So one thing's for sure, if you are seeing a market crash with the stock market, we are more likely going to see a market crash than with the Bitcoin price. Pero ito yung kailangan nyo yung take note, guys. It doesn't mean na nagwa-pump or dump si S&P 500 or yung stock market, susunod na dapat si Bitcoin price. Now, meron ba tayong historical data na nagsasabi ng ganun? Yes, we actually do. Kasi if you're going to look at this Bitcoin price, noong April to June, Bitcoin was in a correction. Pero if you're going to look at the S&P 500, April to June in the stock market is actually still in an uptrend. So as you can see, the only time na nagiging affected yung crypto market lang talaga is during a market crash sa stock market. And right now, we are currently seeing a market crash for the stock market. So for the time being, if we are currently seeing a downtrend, it's more likely being caused by this S&P 500 and then it's because of the stock market. For the intra-market cycle volatility, wala talagang effect si Bitcoin dun sa S&P 500. Pero when it comes to market crash, I think dun lang talaga nagkakaroon ng big effect yung ating Bitcoin price action, especially when it comes to the S&P 500. So to summarize yung ating pinag-usapan, Bitcoin is more likely going to follow S&P 500 during a market crash, pero on a normal day, or let's say we are on a Bitcoin bull market or bear market, if wala naman talaga nangyari with the S&P 500, then it's not more likely going to follow the S&P 500. Rather, it will just do its own thing lang with the Bitcoin price. So ayun guys, hopefully nabigyan kayo ng insight dito sa mga latest analysis natin, especially on how the Bitcoin price is currently breaking the market structure, as well as the logarithmic growth curve, and with the stock market price action, especially with its latest stock market crash. So if you find this video useful and informative, please give this video a like. And if you want to see more contents like this, please subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video, and bye-bye for now.